Hello YouTube world, and welcome to my third grade classroom and my very first YouTube channel. So I'm going to take you around the classroom today just to kind of show you what I have going on. But before I do that, quick disclaimer, I am a first year teacher. This is my first ever classroom on my own. So that being said, I know that there's a lot of things that I want to change for next year, so be nice. But I just loved watching videos like this when I was trying to set up my classroom, so I figured I'd go ahead and show you what I have here. Maybe it'll inspire you in some way or another, or maybe you could give me some tips. So without further ado, let's take a look. Okay, so this is what you see when you walk into my classroom. This is the angle from the indoor hallway. So I have a door here and I have a door out there. We have an indoor hallway and an outdoor hallway, which is extremely weird for California. I've never seen it, so that's a little bit of an adjustment for me. So right when you walk in over here to the left, this is my cabinet, and this is where I also hang my brag tags. This is kind of a, what do we call it? Behavior management technique that I use with the kids. It's for motivation. You've probably seen these all over Teachers Pay Teachers and Instagram and things like that. So I just have their student numbers that I just printed, and then I have their brag tag just hanging from a little clear plastic hook, and they can earn little tags and add to their necklaces. I'm reluctant to show you up here, but this is lack of storage at its finest. This is just where I keep all the tissues. We just had a party for Halloween, so ignore that. And that for that matter. I figured we'd save those for our Christmas party. And in this basket, I have blow up bowling pins that I got from the Target dollar spot. We use those for review games and things like that. Once again, lack of storage at its finest. And then over here, this is just a small birthday wall that I created. I just made all these little tags and just display them underneath the month. It's a super easy way, and honestly I reference it all the time. These are my filing cabinets. This heinous one was given to me by the school, and this one I actually made. Okay, I didn't make it, I'm not that skilled, but I gave it a facelift. I'm not going to show you what's inside of here because, like I said, I am a first year teacher and that is a work in progress. In here, this was also a gorgeous filing cabinet that was given to me by my school. So this is where I store, okay, hang on. So I teach at a IB school, which is an International Baccalaureate school, and I can do a whole nother video on what that means, but essentially each of the kids has a binder that travels with them from K through 5th grade, and we put work samples and reflections and things like that. So that's where I store those because they're ugly. California adopted a wonderful ELA curriculum, and if you're from California, you know that that is sarcasm. But these are the readers that go along with the benchmark curriculum. And then down here is where I just keep some of my extra books that don't fit in my library or ones that I don't want my kids to get their hands on. And then this right here is a unit from Michael's, a storage unit from Michael's. And this is where I store, oh gosh, the small readers that came with our curriculum. I have them categorized by our IB units, the readers that go along with our IB units. This is my Hot Mess Express of headphones. This is how they were given to me, and honestly, I didn't get them until the first day of school, so when I was setting my classroom up, I didn't have a fancy way to organize those. So that is on my list of things to fix for next year. This is just where I keep paper. The kids know it's there. This is their mailbox system, once again, on the to-do list for next year. Honestly, this was the only way I could find to label them, and the kids still know which one's theirs because I was gonna put them, you know, on this part, but then the papers covered them, so this is what we're left with. This is where I keep papers that need to get mailed back. My mailman sees that they're in there and they just go to town. This is another little storage unit. Nothing too fancy going on in here. This is a lot of just math center stuff. So multiplication flashcards. This I actually love. I got this idea from Michelle at Pocketful of Primary. So if you're watching this, thank you very much. These are just the storage containers from Dollar Tree, and inside are decks of cards. It's a super easy way to store them. and the boxes won't get ripped and all that stuff. And then just more flashcards over here. And then down here I keep some of the pocket protectors that we use for math centers or small group. Clearly I use these a lot. Yeah, haven't been opened. You know how it is as a teacher, you just go ham in the Target dollar spot and you don't know what you're gonna use things for, but you accumulate. Once again, clearly use these a lot. I think I'm gonna start using these for centers though. And then we haven't even started time, but I got these from the Target dollar spot because like I said, why not? These are our beautiful pumpkins from Halloween, but this is our WOW workboard, so I just made these letters, I just printed them off and then cut them out. And then each kiddo has their student number with a clothespin, so I hang their work up here. I had nothing for Halloween, so this is just what we threw together last minute, don't judge. I have a sweet kiddo who has a designated break space, so this is his little area. He just comes back here whenever he needs to cool off for a minute. And moving right along, this is our multiplication muscles. I don't want to get too close because I don't want you to see the kids. But before we talk about this, let's talk about this eyesore. I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. It's like, one minute I just want to like kill it. The next minute I want to give it a hug. And that is because it is extremely useful. However, I have no space to store it. So this is where it lives when we're not using it. So that's that. So back to our multiplication muscles. I took a picture of the kids on the first few days of school with a muscle, and this is what I use to motivate them to practice their multiplication facts. So as they ace a times test, I give them about 2.5 minutes to complete it. If they get it 100% in that time, they earn a 1s, 2, 3, 4s, whatever, above their arm. And it gets them super excited to actually practice. So I have a few kiddos that are right on target, some that you can see still need to practice, but I actually got this idea from Brittany over at Miss Fifth. She did this, I think, with multiplication, or I'm sorry, with vocabulary or something, but I really loved the idea. Also due to a lack of storage, this is where some of our indoor recess activities live. Lunch bin. This is where the kiddos come in and put their folders. All right, I'm gonna pan you around this way. So this is where I just came from. See, 2 doors, crazy, right? So let me talk about the desks really quickly. At the beginning of the year, I had them in groups. However, my lovely 3rd graders this year are a chatty bunch, so we're trying out a new seating arrangement. And so far, so good, not gonna lie. Let's talk about our name tags for a minute. So I got these from Lakeshore, these like name tag pockets, and as you can see, we need to have a conversation about respect because they rip them apart. I just made these name tags. I don't have them in my TPT store or anything, but if you would like them, I mean, I can totally put them in there. I just have their name, a number line, a multiplication chart, and then be a risk taker. This is something that goes along with our IB philosophy here. And then these are where I keep their computer login information. Got these from the Target dollar spot. So that's how we store those. All right, this is my teacher space. I call this the force field. The kids know that they cannot cross the force field. So let me just show you a overview of what I got going on. So this is my name. Once again, I just made that quickly on PowerPoint and printed it out. So over here, this little filing cabinet is just where I keep like things that need my attention right away. We had a teacher work day yesterday, so my to-do list was here. This is also where I keep our box tops and bottle caps because it reminds me to get rid of them because they're ugly, and otherwise I would just not turn them in. So this is just where I keep some motivational things. I'll put these on the kids' desks when they're doing some good work. These are where I file my stuff. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as you can see, I already have some stuff in there for next week. So this just makes my paper flow management totally manageable. I have a file for copy, laminate, file, and grade. I made those labels. If you're interested, let me know. This is my beloved teacher toolbox. If you do not have one, you need to get one. They are amazing. This just came from Ace Hardware or Lowe's. And then these labels I got off TPT from Teach, Create, Motivate. She rocks, so thank you for those. This is where I keep all of my curriculum, nothing fancy. Once again, this is gonna be a project for next year. This is where I organize all of my stuff. Paper management for me has been the biggest challenge, but you know, I'm living and learning. Was an accident. I hung up 2 pieces of artwork at the beginning of the year, and now all of a sudden the kids are just like throwing it at me, hoping that it'll make the wall. So that's that. This is our calendar. In 3rd grade, calendar is not all that exciting. So I just designated a small space for it. I printed off the letters with my Cricut, slapped them on there, made all the labels. I just used washi tape, honestly, to create this, and I eyeballed it. Probably not the best, but it's functional and it works. And then I made these little cards to put in place of days when things are, you know, going on. As you can see, November, no school November, looking great. These are all short days. Hallelujah. So up here we have our classroom essential agreements. This is something that goes along with our IB philosophy as well. So at the beginning of the year, we created our classroom rules, and the students made posters, and then they signed them with their hand. We cut them out and we put those up here. So this board will stay up all year, and then our alphabet goes across like this. So here's the front view of my space. This little curtain thing I just made, I got a bunch of ribbons from Walmart, and I cut them and I just tied them to another piece of fabric, and it was super easy to do. This is my little coffee center. Disregard how janky this little cart is, but you know, once again, I'm working with what I got. So I have my Keurig here, coffee. Right below it is where I keep all my pods. As you can see, I just recently stocked up. And then down here is where I keep all of my calendar things. This is what I was talking about. I made all these for different events throughout the year. So that's where I keep those. Over here, this is where I keep, once I pull the work that I need from, those guys, I'll bring it over here and I'll just leave it for the day in here. That way I know where to find it. I don't know if you're this teacher, but I am one of those people that will take a stack of paper that I need to pass out or put away, and I will set it down, and all of a sudden it is like somebody ate it, they burned it, I don't know where it went, it's totally gone. So this system that I have here has been helping me with that issue. I recommend it if that's a problem that you have in your life and your teacher struggles. Okay, so then this is where I keep my morning meeting book. We do a morning meeting every single morning. If you don't do it, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a great way to build classroom community. I feel like my kids are my kids because I know everything about them because they tell me during morning meeting. This down here is kind of like my hardware kit. Tape measure, extra clips, cleaner. So these are where I do our team points. Because we are IB, we focus heavily on the world perspective, global perspective, so it only seemed fitting that our team points would have country names as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. These are just some of my favorite places that I've ever been, so that's why we chose those names. This is what I created for our kind of classroom economy. Our school does a Eagle ticket school-wide. These are just summer boards that I came up with on my own. And these are where I keep our beloved Eagle tickets. So this is, honestly, I made really cute schedule cards at the beginning of the year and soon found out that everything that I ended up writing was nothing that I had. Thought I was totally prepared, totally wasn't. So that will get a facelift next year. Moving on over here. This is what I've recently been using to have the kids self-assess. It's been working really well. I just have them give themselves a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on a Post-it note. They stick it on the door on their way out. I do it specifically for math, so I can see who I need to pull for small groups. It's been working really well. So if you struggle with that, maybe, I don't know, try it out. This is where I post our standards. IB units typically trump the rest of things, so this is not updated as frequently as I would like, but it just says, look at what we're learning. I cut the letters out with my Cricut. It's black vinyl. And then I got the googly eyes from Michaels, and they fall all the time. So I don't know, if you have a secret to sticking those things, let me know, because I don't know why they do not stick. And then up here, this is what I use for our voice levels. I got this from Miss Fifth in her TPT store. 0 voice off, 1, 2, 3. And over here are our learner profiles. This is very IB specific, but we reference these all year. These is basically things that we hold our kids to. And our attitudes, also IB terminology. I made these ones, and to be honest with you, I cannot remember who I got those from, so I will figure that out and give you some cred. Let's talk about this, because this is an issue for me. So this is my classwork bin. I just have the kids turn in all their work throughout the day in there. And then down here, you know, I could have cleaned this out, but this is real life, so this is what you're gonna get. So let me just talk about this really quickly. I was thrown into ELA centers kind of like 6-7 weeks into the school year. As a first year teacher, I had no idea how I wanted to organize them. So this was just like a ditch effort to try and get them rolling. I just have 4 groups, green, blue, yellow, orange, based on levels. And then each group has a tub, and that's where they keep their spelling work, because that's one of my centers. So that is the Hot Mess Express that you're seeing here. Don't judge me. So that's that. It's a hot mess, I know. Just you know, pretend you didn't see it, whatever. This is where I keep the kids' supplies when they were in groups. They sat on their table. This is where they are for right now, and it was kind of just go with the flow kind of a moment, because I didn't know I was gonna be switching seats, but I did. So this is the rolling cart from Michaels. As you can see, I kind of go with a blue-green theme. I think it's really calming, and honestly, not my favorite colors in the world, but I really like them together. So that's kind of what I went with this year. So I just took the, oh my God, I can't think. The drawers out and spray painted them, and then put the knobs back on. It was super, super easy. It took me maybe all of like 30 minutes. So I just have a bunch of random labels on here. I'm gonna need another one for next year. I'm soon learning. There's my globe. So this is our wonder wall. This is very much an IB thing as well. Truthfully, I should probably just do a whole video on IB, because it's way too hard to explain. These are just things that we have to have posted in our room. So this is the space that we have for that. Now, help. PSA, how do you store beanbags? This is truthfully the best thing we could come up with, because they are massive. I didn't know they were gonna be this big. I got them online because I ordered them through my Donors Choose, so please help. This is our library. As you can see, the blue-green theme continues. I just have the books labeled by genre, and then my lovely aide went through and she leveled them all for me, which is incredible. And then over here I have my read marquee letters, inspire and learn, Target Dollar Spot, you know. And then these crate seats I actually made. They're not being used as much as I'd like, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep them for next year. I don't know, we'll see. This house is all of my picture books down here. And then I have more of the crate seating along here. This is our writing and reading bulletin board. Totally gonna design this for next year. I'm realizing that I'm not needing all this space, because truthfully I just use it to stick up my anchor charts. So I'll probably put them on a rack or something next year, but I just made these labels, cut them out. This is actually a whiteboard under here. So I can use magnets, which actually I really, really like. But I'm gonna use that whiteboard for something else this year. So I did the same thing for reading. This is where I keep our annotation, anchor charts, and such. And then this is our math bulletin board that we use all the time. So same thing, I just made the little letters and then cut them out. And then I made this vocabulary label. I bought these from TPT. It's 3rd grade math specific vocabulary with visuals that I love. Once again, I cannot remember who I got them from. Otherwise, I would give you a shout out, so I'll figure that out and do so below. These are from Bethany from Teaching and So Forth. I love them. We use this all the time. This is our word problem steps that we use. And I believe this is also from her store down below, Place Value. Lifesaver. If you do not have this, print it, laminate it, put it up in your classroom. It rocks. And then this is our space for anchor charts. Not a magnetic board, which stinks, but it's fine. It does the job. These lovely friends down here are our fun chairs. One's dying new. So I posted a Donors Choose project at the beginning of the year because I knew I wanted fun chairs for my kids because they don't stay still. I don't like to sit in a regular chair, so I don't really know why we would expect them to always stay in a chair. They do have to earn these right now because I don't have enough for the whole class, but that's something they can buy with their Eagle tickets. So I have a few, I think 4 wobble stools and 4 exercise balls that they can use. So, so far so good, but I'm also running into a storage issue. I don't know how to store them. This looks ugly, I know. So if you have any ideas, feel free to shoot them my way. Please, thanks. So this is our small group center. These stools were also part of that Donors Choose project. This table is brand new. I don't know why they gave it to me, but they did. These are just some awesome Explorer posters that my kids are working on right now. And truthfully, I didn't have another space for them. This is where we sharpen pencils. As you can see, my pencil sharpener did a fabulous job on Wednesday. So my small group center is also an area that's gonna get a big facelift over the summer because as a first year teacher, I didn't know exactly like what resources I had, what I needed to pull, how much space I needed to store everything. I went with the basic Sterilite drawers, and I'm soon learning that that is nowhere near enough space because I've been creating and pulling from all over the place. So that will get a big update next year. But for now, this is what we're working with, so this is what it looks like. And then right above that is where I have my classroom job board. I just printed off these letters and then cut them out, stapled them, and then as you can see, I got these from TPT and I don't know who I got them from. I just printed off name cards and stick them in there. And that's how the kids know what their job is. And then we are back to where we started. Okay, so that wraps up my 3rd grade classroom tour. If you guys have any questions at all, please just like leave a comment or something and I'll try and answer them. If you have any tips and suggestions for me, please leave that below as well because I need all the help I can get. If you're a first year teacher, you feel me as well. So this is the first YouTube video that I've created. I'm planning on putting out a little more content, honestly, just because I'm always on YouTube, and as a first year teacher, I was looking for any and every bit of help that I could get. So I'm learning a lot as I go through this journey, and I'm thinking that sharing what I'm learning could benefit somebody else. So if you would like to, please feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna try and put out maybe 2 to 3 videos a week. If you have any ideas of things that you'd like to see or whatever, just let me know and we can go from there. But this has been really fun, so thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.